Hey, I hope everybody's doing well. I have another retro game suggestion for you today. This is kind of a new thing I'm doing. Probably noticed I'm wearing the same shirt, and that's just because I'm going to work in a different state and going on a little business trip, if you will, and wanted to record a handful of videos so I could just kind of upload them and have something for you. Didn't really know what to do, and just figured this would be a fun thing, something interesting that I kind of caught my eye, so to speak. So today I'm gonna suggest lightly, a game that I used to play when I was a kid called Scooby Doo Classic Creep Capers for the Nintendo 64. Quite a mouthful to say, and I say suggest in quotations because I don't think this is a very good game, but I have this. We all have this sometimes. Just this nostalgic connection to this game. Everybody has one or two of those games where you're just like, I don't really like this game, but I played it as a kid, and there's something about it that I just hold near and dear to my heart. And this is one of them. It's not a very good game. It's quite janky. I'll talk about it briefly. I'll try to keep this short, but there's something about it. And the gist of this game is you play as Scooby and Shaggy, and when I say both, I mean that like you play as Shaggy, but Scooby's kind of connected to you in a way. So if you move, Scooby just kind of follows you, and it's very rinse and repeat. You kind of go around and you collect clues. You try to run around the map, so to speak, collect your clues, and then once you've collected all the clues, then they do the trap. And then you set the trap up and you catch the villain, unmask them, and you go to the next one. And it's broken up into 4 different episodes. So the first one is you're in a museum with the Black Knight. The second one is the Abominable Snowman. You're at like a ski lodge kind of place. The third one is like at a like Hawaiian sort of resort with the like tiki monster. And the fourth one is like a little bit different. You go to a castle and you're trying to stop some creepy guy. That's kind of the wraparound one. I'm gonna change arms here. I think they're based on the original stories. I mean, I love Scooby Doo. I used to watch it all the time. The originals. I never really liked, even as a kid. I never really liked the newer ones. The direct to VHS movies. I never like connected with them. I always loved the old school '60s ones, and that's what these are based on. And again, I suggest this lightly because I have this connection to it where I'm like, man, I really like this. I just had so much fun as a kid trying to play this game and figure it out and everything like that, but it's not very good. And there's a couple reasons why it's not good. The main reason is the control. It's set up very much like not Silent Hill, Resident Evil. As a kid, of course, I didn't know what Resident Evil was, so I had no clue. I just knew this fucking game is hard as hell to control because it's that style, that tank control style, where your character moves like in really like stiff movements, and then they move off screen and it goes to the next screen. They're static screens, and then your character moves off camera and it jumps to the next screen. And I'm just like, as a kid, I was like, why the fuck is it set up like this? This is asinine. Like, it's so hard to control. Your control stick is like, you're like going, like, you're like in a fucking yoga pose and your character, trying to get your character to go straight. That's basically how it was. Super annoying. So, like, when I say I recommend this again, you're gonna be like, Harry, what the fuck is this shit? I can't control my character. Shaggy's like doing the hokey pokey or something. I don't know. Yeah, I know. That's the most annoying thing about this game. Sometimes it works. Like some set pieces of this game, the controls are okay. Like it's intuitive where you lean the stick in a direction and he goes there and it's fine. But sometimes it's like all over the place. And that can be crazy when like the monsters chase you, which happens at least one time each act, basically, where the monster chases you. And to be quite honest, like I know this is a kid's game and it's not a very good one. I've played this as an adult and I'm like, holy shit! Like you get that like rush of adrenaline, like I gotta get the hell out of here. And the control stick's like fighting you and you're going crazy, so that sucks. Yeah, and the other thing is that it's just very rinse and repeat. You do the act, you collect the clues, you set up the trap, you catch the killer, or not the killer, but the monster, and then you do the next thing. It's like they're all the same. Yeah, I know. It's not very good. I don't even really know why I'm recommending it. It's just something to check out. It's an interesting game, if anything. It's interesting. I wouldn't say that you're gonna sit down with it and you're gonna be like, oh my god, this is incredible. I'm gonna play through the whole thing in one sitting. If you like Scooby Doo and you're of the era of N64 and you like checking out maybe lesser known games, it might be of some interest to you. There's a channel that's really great called NES or N64 Glenn Plant. I think that's the name of the channel, and he's a guy who reviews like every single N64 game. And he's reviewed this one too, and he kind of had the same criticisms as me. He clearly didn't enjoy it as much because he didn't have that nostalgic connection to it, but I wouldn't really recommend it per se, but maybe you want to check it out. Maybe, and maybe it's a game that you've played as a kid and you want to just go back to and check out again and say, oh, I played that when I was a kid. Give that another shot and see what that was like. That's the thing. And to leave you with a little story, as I kind of like to do. This was one of the first games, not the first, I think, but one of the first games I bought with my own money. Like I got Christmas money when I was a kid, and it had to be 2000, I think, probably the year 2000. And I went to Toys R Us, which was heaven for us as kids. What's Toys R Us? And they had all the N64 games. I could have bought. I had a lot of money. Honestly, I think I had like $100 or something of Christmas money. So quite a bit, especially as a kid. I could have bought like Mario 64 or something good, and for some fucking reason, I bought Scooby Doo. I bought it, and guess what? I swear to God, I paid $75. Yes, you heard that right. 75 fucking dollars for this game. Because that's how much shit used to cost. And I know people are complaining because the PS5 is coming out, and we have seen some of the games are going to cost $70, like Demon Souls, the remake they just showed off yesterday. That's going to cost $70, and I see a lot of complaints about that. And to be quite honest, there could be a whole video, a whole discussion about the cost of games today. Oh, I think they cost more to make. There's a lot more going into it. I totally understand that. Personally, I'm not paying $70 for a game, at least at this point in my life. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not paying $70 for a game. I'm just not. You might, that's fine. I'm not calling you out for that. I'm just not. Back then, fucking N64 games used to cost a lot of fucking money, man. Sorry for my language, but, I remember when Majora's Mask came out, which blew my mind. That's a great game. That game, like, me and my brother bought that game and played it, and it, like, blew our fucking minds. One of the, in the infancy of 3D games, to be quite honest, it blew our minds. That game was like $80. 80. And I think they bundled it with the expansion pack, but I'm not sure. But I bought the expansion pack, and that thing was like fucking $60 too. So the games were so expensive, and the point of this long-winded rant is that I spent like $75 at a Toys R Us, and my parents didn't know what games were. They don't know. So they were like, "You sure you want that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like Scooby Doo." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Play this on an emulator, obviously. Don't go buying this game. But sorry for the long-windedness of this, but I just thought it would be fun. A little rant went in there impromptu. Anyways, I hope everybody's very well and staying safe. The wildfires are going on the West Coast, and it's terrible. It's crazy. There's a hurricane going on. Oh, there's coronavirus. Wow, what a year. But I hope everybody's well. Please stay safe and enjoy the smaller things in life.